The year 2023 has ended, handed over the reins to the 24th, and no matter how it is necessary to summarize certain results, and in view of the recent release of the movie Aquaman 2, about which now everyone is talking very actively, it is probably worth discussing the state of affairs at DC Studios for the past, and as of the new year, as well as the prospects for the future. After all, as we know, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is the last movie of the current movie universe, started in 2013 by Zack Snyder. So it marks, without exaggeration, the end of an era and the beginning of something new, but it's still unclear what. What do you think about all of this? How does this ending turn out to be right now? What does the sequel to DC's highest-grossing movie demonstrate? Will DC be able to get it right and delight us with awesome new products again? Or is their song long since sung? Give us the answer in the comments, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hi everyone, we're here with More with Stars and we're starting. Well, now let's talk about everything in more detail. So, roughly speaking, it's already 2 weeks of distribution of the movie Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom all over the world, so we can talk about certain intermediate results. Why so early? Because it's only 2 weeks later? But because, as a rule, the first week of distribution is the hottest, and the next week demonstrates the general trend of this or that movie and its prospects for the whole time in theaters. Although, of course, exceptions are possible, but in general, this is the case. So I suggest taking a look at what Aquaman 2 has right now. This movie opened in the so-called home market. That is, in North America, even worse than analysts predicted. And if their predictions were somewhere around the 30 to 40 million mark, then in fact, the movie collected only 27 million. This is certainly a much more modest result than originally planned. Recall that about a month ago, the forecasts for the start of the sequel in the US and Canada were at the level of $55–60 million. However, at the same time in international markets, the movie performed better than expected. So as a result, as of now, we can say that Lost Kingdom earned $258 million. By the way, this is already more than the Marvels managed to collect for the whole time of distribution, but it's still quite sad, so in this case, everything will depend on further indicators. If the novelty, as well as the second Captain Marvel, will collapse in the following weeks, then perhaps its collections did not reach $300 million. If a miracle happens and people continue to go to the movies with plus or minus constant interest, then probably Lost Kingdom can even reach the mark of $350 or $400 million. Of course, and such figures to the movie, alas, will not be enough to repay the considerable investment in its production, as it is $220 million to create plus about 50 more to advertise the movie. Total $500 million. That's the minimum, which will be able to at least approximately repay the money spent. Alas, it is already clear that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will not earn so much, especially against the backdrop of the fact that critics and the press at this time very actively spread the movie James Wan. So DC, alas, did not get a fairy tale ending of Snyder's movie universe. What about the 23rd year as a whole? What other movies were released by the studio, and what did they bring? Unfortunately, there is nothing to please you here either, because DC released 4 blockbusters last year, which all of them turned out to be unprofitable. Let's go in order. First, in March of the 23rd year, the movie Shazam! Fury of the Gods, also a continuation of a pretty good start debut movie, which unfortunately became a failure. After all, with a budget of $125 million, and this, without advertising, the movie collected at the box office only $133. That is, it cost the studio about $100 million in losses. Then the world saw the movie The Flash this summer, more than a long-suffering release, which was on the verge of being canceled because of problems with Ezra Miller. In the end, the movie really came out, but also did not please its creators, because at a cost of $200 to $220 million plus marketing, the distribution of the novelty was only $270 million. Again bringing $100 million in losses. Next was Blue Beetle, and again $109 million for production, plus advertising, and only $130 million at the box office. That is $50–60 million in the minus. And finally, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which is still not clear how it will turn out, but it could take 50 to 100 million out of the pockets of Warner's and DC. Total, the whole huge studio worked for a whole year only to end up with 400, if not $500 million minus. It's certainly not what you'd call a triumph and a worthy finale. What do you think about all of this? Will DC be able to improve and please us again with amazing novelties, or their song has been sung for a long time? Give us the answer in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and like the video. Thank you very much. See you soon.